On Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that aren't true. Budweiser. The restart. Jimmy Spencer in front of Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, his teammate Jeff Gordon, point leader Matt Kenseth, Jeff Burton, Rusty Wallace, Bill Elliott, and Johnny Benson, the top 10.
And right now, Kevin Harvick in the 29, he's having to contend with that lap car of Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 car, as well as Ryan Newman up there running beside Dale Earnhardt Jr. Remember, Ryan Newman is a lap down as well.
23 cars on the lead lap, just past halfway.
Jerry Nadeau, Mark Martin, and Jack Sprague have all returned to the race after long, lengthy repairs. We still have Mike Skinner and Terry Labonte that are behind the wall trying to repair their car. Over halfway, only 2 cars out, Tony Raines and Derek Cope.
Matt Kenseth on the move.
We heard the 24 talk to the 2 about let's work together. Well, the 24 went on, and the 2 must not gotten the message because he's falling back. Dale Jr. hung up on the outside, took a little slide there, hung on to it. 24 looks like he's kind of got himself in good position to work his way back up here and fight with Spencer a little bit.
You ride with Kenny Wallace there, the 23. He is 1 lap down after being involved in a couple of the cautions today.
You know, Darrell, one thing I did like about the concrete surface, it's not that weather sensitive. It don't change that much with weather, but the sun has come out. Dick Berger and those guys checking our track temperature down there. The track temperature of the concrete has went up just a little bit, about 4 or 5 degrees since this race started.
The difference in asphalt and concrete. Asphalt, we put rubber into the track. It goes down into the asphalt. Here we put rubber on top of the track. So when the sun comes out and heats the track up a little bit, it gets slicker.
Larry mentioned only 2 cars out of the race, Tony Raines and Derek Cope, neither one due to contact. Everybody else has made repairs and is back in the race except Labonte and Skinner. And some of those cars don't have a lot of sheet metal left, but what the heck, sheet metal doesn't hold up anything except the spoiler.
Well, I mean, you do tear your car up here, get it all beaten up, and it looks terrible, but you can go in there and beat it all back out and put it back together and get back out on the racetrack. That's why so many times there's a lot of cars left running here at the end of the day.
4th and 5th place battle, Jeff Gordon, Matt Kenseth.
You generally don't knock the fuel pump off of them here. You just knock the fenders all in on them.
Right. Matt?
Gordon being patient, that's why he's won here 5 times. He told crew chief Robbie Loomis the car is still a little bit free on entry, still a little bit tight in the center, but so far so good. Robbie Loomis told me they're still planning on pitting around their scheduled stop, lap 350. That way they can go the distance if they need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny this morning. Raymond Fox III, Elliott Sadler's crew chief, he called me over there this morning in the garage here and said, Larry, when do I need to pit? I said, well, the best advice I can give you from what I've seen here this week is when you get to about lap 375, get your 4 fresh tires and then pack your pit equipment up. That way you won't be tempted to come back to the road.
Elliott's done a really good job. I mean, he's kind of been up and back. You know, he had to come and get that piece of metal out of the side of the car, but the car looks pretty darn good, and it's handling well. Of course, he's won here, so I wouldn't count anybody out of this race yet. We still got the long way to go.
Kevin Harvick in the 29 running here in 2nd. We're riding with him. He finally gets by Jeremy Mayfield, but the story right now on him is just remember he's been out there about 130 to 40 laps. A lot of those laps have been caution laps, but he's been out there for a while. See Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. He's the 3rd place trying to get by Ryan Newman in that 12 who's a lap down.
And if I was Jeff Gordon, I'd give those guys a little bit of room because Ryan has just been very difficult to get around.
Newman started on the pole, but brought a very loose race car into the race and made his first pit stop very early.
And when he made that first pit stop early, put him back in the back, it's been downhill ever since.
48's got a run on him, but is he going to let him go or not? Yeah, he did. He moved up that time, gave him some room to race.
Jeannie.
Well, Larry, Mack, your suspicions are correct on the 29 car of Kevin Harvick doing some math because, as I mentioned before, they kind of had a game plan coming in. They figure if they don't get a caution between now and lap 290, they're going to have to stop under green.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, Jeannie, that Todd has not brought. Once they got past about 125 laps, I'm a little surprised because at this time of the race, I think sometimes they settle down and you get those long green runs. And Darrell, you talked about it earlier. You make a green flag stop here, it's a minimum of 3 to 4 laps.
Yeah, I'd say about 4 laps if you had to come down all the way around to this side of the racetrack. it would be disastrous.
I mean, it's kept them up front. It's kept them clean. But again, if you have to pit under green, I won't say it's over with, but it's close to over with.
Now, the one difference from what we've seen earlier, if I understand correctly, if you pit under green, you don't have to go all the way around. You can enter the pit lane on the side of the racetrack that your pit is on and not make that whole big U-turn loop.
That is correct.
That is correct. They treat it like 2 pit roads under green. Good point, Mike.
But with the speed limit being only 30 miles an hour, that's going to seem like eternity.
Well, that's 2 laps right there almost,
right.
just in going down pit road.
Jimmy Spencer has led the last 64 laps here at Bristol. Had a strong car yesterday, wheel broke. And here's Matt Kenseth.
Man, did you see what the Kenseth did? He just run up there and just pushed Jeffy right out of the way, and Jeffy did not like that. Come on, get that, boy.
Last year, Matt Kenseth scored the most points in the 6 short track races of any driver in Winston Cup.
And what we consider our short track races is Bristol, Richmond, and Martinsville. It's going down the backstretch off into turn 3.
I've always had the philosophy, if you live by the bump, you die by the bump.
Boy, that looked exactly like what Jeff Gordon did to Rusty Wallace to win the race here back in August.
Rick Hendrick, the car owner for Jeff Gordon, was watching our telecast and saw the little bump by the 24 and 17. He started smiling, leaned over to me and said, "It's not fun being a car owner at Bristol."
Just remind Rick, it's a long day. And plenty is left to happen here. 286 laps complete. Jimmy Spencer out front of Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, and Jeff Gordon.